Okay, let's talk about this patient lift. Let's talk about the components. Let me first get this piece out of the way so we can get to, okay, let's talk about these pieces first. This goes hook onto the hinge of the door. Let's call this the hinge piece. This piece, I made this afterward. You can call this the extender bar to the hinge. It makes the hinge a little deeper. You could have made forgo this and make this distance by that much more. Then you don't have to make this, okay? And I'll explain why. It needs to clear the door. This piece I made it too short, so I made an extender. And then so this goes in the hinge. This is the extender. Next we got this actual lift bar. See these hinges here? It goes on here, okay? And then on there we have, let's come up with a name for this. Let's call this the reach bar, to reach inside the car. And then this, let's call this the sling bar, where the sling is actually connected to. Okay, so again, these two can be made into one by just making this deeper. So we got the hinge, the lift, the reach bar, and the sling bar. And of course you have the sling, which is also homemade. You can buy everything online. If you want to buy this, probably about 5,000 to 6,000, 7,000, the whole kit. Okay, if you made it like I made it here, I buy all these metal from a surplus off of Ella Boulevard in the Heights of Houston. Rose Steel is the name of the place. And since it's surplus, they sell it by the pound. I think they pay 65 cents a pound. Okay, let's talk about the metal, because this video is for those who wants to make themselves. This is like 1/2 inch steel. These are, I would say, not even an 8. And I apologize for my weld. I'm terrible welding. Great grinder, by the way. Okay, so I cut all these out. So the only tool I use is angle grinder or cut-off tool, and the grinding wheel, and TIG welding. But I'm sure you can make weld this too. That's not bad right there. Well, it's not good. Oh, the porosity. So the patient is my mother. She's less than 100 pounds, so I wasn't too worried. If you're building this for a heavier patient, I would be more careful with the weld and so on. You know what I mean. Stitches. This, by the way, is not heavy duty stitching. It's just regular thread. And it's just 2-ply of this canvas I bought many years ago. These webbings. This is from, I think I bought this Seattle fabric. Seattle. This is Amazon. Rose Steel. This actuator is from Amazon. And I'll put the screenshot of where I got it. Okay. Bolts on Lowe's or Home Depot. The trick is to find, like, for instance, this pipe. It has to fit to this, right? If you're working with metals, one of the challenges is to find pipe that fit, or tubing pipes that fits over each other, telescoping. Same thing for this. I didn't have a telescoping square tubing, so I made this tab. But if you have a telescoping or a C channel that go over this, then you wouldn't have to make this, right? You know, this would be open. This would kind of go right into there. Okay, so again, let me show you how this little part here, it's a Frankenstein method of keeping this from moving once you hang it onto the door. Okay, let's just put it together, okay? So again, we got the hinge extender could be one, lift, reacher, sling bar. And it has to be custom made, okay? So we custom made to this 2004 Subaru Outback. So here's the hinge. Now, most car will have, you know, two hinges, and they're level. I don't know what I don't think they level. Like if you drop a string with the weight, I don't think it's gonna hit there. Okay, so the upper and the, so if you look from above, the bottom one is here. The top one is not vertically up. I think it's over a little bit. But you have to work that out, right? You make it so that your bar is vertical in space. So however you need to make it to reach the inside, you just need to make that, okay? So, and it hangs. So you need a little gap inside for that little notch to hang over it. Otherwise it's gonna slip off, right? So it's like a hook, right? So it hook onto here. Both the top hinge and the bottom. Okay, so let's put that on first. Okay, so this would be the assembly part. Okay. So I take it, I open it all the way, and I hover. So this part, it's just a little over the top of the hinge. Okay. And I wiggle in, and I just drop it in. I got a little play. I should glue some kind of like those polyethylene cutting board. Just need to cut out and super glue it on here so it won't scratch the car. But so at the top, you see it just went over that right there, and it's the same on the bottom. And you have to make sure, okay, because see, it's sit over there, see? Okay. And it's somewhat straight in space.
Recording stop.
Okay, let me.
Recording start.
Okay, so it's kind of vertical in space. Okay. Now the reason we need the extender, I need the extender. You shouldn't, because you're doing second version right after me. So I would lengthen this by just getting some more of this and just adding another one here, which would make it go out to here. And if need to add another one, right? Three of these length. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that would make this hinge way out here. The reason we want it out here is to clear this part. Without that extender, I'm bottom out right here. I need to be bottom out right here. Okay. Okay, so let's put the extender. Okay. And this just drop in like that, okay? And then the actual lift, so drop in. Okay. Okay, so we just use gravity, right? This can be lifted out, but gravity keeps them in the pin. Okay. Oh, and the reason, I know why. I bought this after I made this, and looks at the problem, the motor sticking out. So if I didn't have that extender, I would have bottomed out like, so this would be like here when I'm bottom out without the extender. Okay, so, and I didn't want to flip it the other way. I don't know, maybe I could. Okay, so let's do the reach bar. The purpose of the reach bar is to reach the inside, and again, that's, you know, just drop in. Okay. Okay. And then the sling bar, where you attach the sling, so drop in. Oop. Okay. So the patient would be here, right? The torso would be here, the head would be here, the two arms would be here. And I should have, if I do the next version, I would make it go, this bar, I kind of reverse it, make it go make it go a little bit like this. Right now it's gonna go like that. I don't know, you gotta play with it, but this, it works, you know, for my mom. Okay, so come out, you would raise, and I'll hook up the battery and the remote control, the wire remote, not remote. So you would lift the patient up. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do this. This battery pack is a 24 volts. Okay, this is not 12, it's 24. I can press and hold, and still 100%. We use it about 3-4 times. So picking up and dropping off, picking up, dropping off 3-4 times. Okay, so I need to put a Velcro here. So actually underneath, like right here, so that we don't, you want to put this down for a second. Okay, so I got that plugged in, and this plugs into this. Okay, so to lift up, this is the wire remote. This is down. Let me get a better position here so you can see. Okay, down. And when you use this, by the way, and it takes some time to get used to, but you do a little bit, and your eyes gotta look everywhere. You're not pinching the patient, you're not binding anything. I'll tell you a little story about the binding issue. Okay, so up. See, now basically the patient's head is almost touching the roof of the car, and it can go a little higher. Okay, and then you would swing the patient out like this. Would be actually a little lower. I would put my hand behind the head of the patient, so if it hit, it'll hit my finger first. If it hit here, it'll hit my finger first, and I would, this hands back the head, I would swing the patient out like this and like this. Okay, and then you can lower it into the wheelchair. Okay, so you can do a little pin and hook, but I just did that, and then this would just kind of go over it. Okay, so the patient is in there like that. The yellow strap, actually I had it reversed. This should be on the other side, right? Because otherwise this will rip away from this. So if I flip it around like this, you know what I mean. If you don't put it in a comment, I'll re-explain it. The patient arm has to be here. So this goes below their underarm, okay? The arms come out right here, like at chest level, okay? So like that. Okay, so that's how you work it. So let's lower the patient into the wheelchair. And again, while you're doing this, make sure you keep glancing your eyes all over. My mom, she's 90, so I mean her head isn't that clear anymore, so she would tend to accidentally hold on to the wrong place and get her arm pinched. And you, not only the patient, but just look all over, okay? Okay, so in the wheelchair, and then undo everything. Okay, so again, pick the patient up. And then start swing and push the patient in, right? Okay, push it in, legs in. And then, so when you do this, it helps, maybe if you can put some Velcro on the bar, so you can this hand can be used to push it in and out, right? Because one hand is to do this, the other hand is to do this and hit the remote control at the same time. Okay, so up, over, in, lower it. Okay, so that's the operation. Let's talk about the material again. This is 1 inch. And that's how thick it is, like an eighth of an inch thick. Again, depending on the patient. Okay, so again, the trick part is to find a round rod that can go to a round tubing. And if you can have a square tubing going into another square tubing, or a C-channel going to a square tubing. I don't have the C-channel, so I just do cut a little tap out and I weld it. Okay. And this part, because it moved, so you got to curve this piece. At the end, you have to curve it, okay? Otherwise, it'll bind. Everything is custom made. So as you can see, the bar at the level like this, like that, shouldn't go obviously here, right? So this is, I think it's kind of long. It could have gone to here. Could have gone to mid part of the seat. Maybe an inch more, because as you swing up, you lose this distance, right? Because if this swing up, it's going to curve, right? So you lose this distance, okay? So make it so that when you swing up, as you lose distance, you still have enough. So that's why I don't want to give you dimension, but okay. From point to point, looks like 21 inches from bolt to bolt. Okay, this distance here, bolt to bolt, is 6 inches. Okay. This, you notice I abandoned this part. I made another tab here for the actuator. So if you get a shorter, more powerful actuator, you can hook it here. So you got to play with this distance. Mine, this is obviously 6 like the other one. And let's see, from there to there, it's like pin to pin is like 14. This distance, again, your cars may be different, is like 9 inches from pin to pin. Okay. Actually, very easy to do. You know, I'll like I said, I'll give you the link to this, and it's a game changer because before that, we pick her up by just bear hugging her, and everybody gets hurt. She gets hurt. Our back get hurt, and it's not pleasant to move her. With this, you know, it takes no time. Okay, let me see what else I have. Okay, so the patient, let's talk a little bit about the patient. The patient, my mom, is kind of bedridden. That means you have to put this while she's laying in bed, the sling. So you roll her over, you put half of it under, roll her the other way, undo the other half and roll her back. And then we have a Hoyer lift to lift her up and put her in the wheelchair. Okay. If the patient is just not bed bound, but just wheelchair bound, you can probably put it on while you're in the wheelchair by just wiggle half, put in half, wiggle the half, pull out the half underneath her, the patient. Okay. Okay, so the metal, the bolts, actuator, the actuator battery. Okay, everything is custom made. Okay, I think I cover everything. You should be able to knock this out in a couple of weekends. The hard part is to source the material. So if you live in a metropolitan area and you have half a dozen metal surplus places, that's the way to go. This is $114, I think. This is like $80, the lithium battery. Again, you know, people selling this for $5,000-$6,000. Okay, so I hope that helps. If you need anything, just put it in the comment and I'll answer it. I'll do a supplement video. Okay, all right, thanks for watching.